Hello, my name is Erin Davenport, and I'm going to explore my relationship with literacy. I was born with a family that encouraged reading, surrounded by school teachers and book enthusiasts that taught me that words had power. My great aunt once told me that when she was a kid, her parents used to take away her desk lamp's light bulb as a punishment so she couldn't read at night. Just one more chapter, I would plead when bedtime hit and my parents turned out my lights. As I hid under my covers with my dolls and chapter books, I often imagined the horrors of not having my own flashlight. We have home videos on VHS tape that show me sitting in a hallway with the gate up. My little brother is 2 years younger than me and would often try to bother me when I needed alone time, so I would climb over the gate and read my books as he gawked, unable to reach me. I would go to great lengths in order to study my picture books in peace. Another important person in my literacy journey was my grandma. Every time I visited her apartment, she had a novel in hand and would explain what the plot was about as I examined the cover. Some of my earliest memories involve her reading to me from Richard Scarry's bedtime stories. I'd sit next to her on the couch and absorb every word as we progressed to reading ads in her Avon magazines and eventually chapter books. I didn't need her to read to me anymore, but there was something special about sitting near each other and breezing through a novel. As her eyesight worsened with age, I repaid the favor when I was able to read her romance novels aloud. I was a regular attendee of library school during the summer, with activities ranging from discussions to real-life application of what was explored in the books we read. Sometimes that meant making ice cream after reading a book involving it. Other times it meant dressing like the characters. Before I was a Harry Potter fan, my family lovingly told me I was just like the character Myrtle and dressed me up as her. It was only later that I realized that they'd been calling me whiny. My days spent at the library were productive. The librarian would pay attention to which books I liked, always providing me new recommendations. I fell in love with books because they felt less temporary. I could be sad over an ending, but instantly comforted by a back cover advertising the next book in a series with a brief excerpt. As I grew up, I stood by bringing a book with me everywhere I went. Sometimes that looks like being antisocial in between classes or ending up in a random bedroom at a family gathering immersed in a world other than my own. I attended numerous sporting events for my brother, always having a book to read if I didn't understand what was going on. My books were there when my friends were unreliable, and reading became less of a hobby and more of a lifestyle. Although YA is definitely my favorite genre, I tend to seek out a feeling when I read. I don't need a particular plot in order to find satisfaction. I want to turn the pages rapidly, unaware of my surroundings. I want to sit on my bed without moving because finishing the book is more important than my backache. I want to feel changed by what I read, changed enough that I have to recommend it to every living soul, whether the subject matter would appeal to them or not. I maintain that my books are my friends, the kind of dependable companions that will go with me to any situation without complaint. Whether they collect dust on my child bookshelves or are rifled through regularly, each of my books represent a different stage of my personhood. I can find pieces of my identity through what I've read and know that my favorite books shape me.